Aloha, Kalepa.
Aloha pua.
Keeping Hearing Officer Amano's directive of a 30-minute limitation for cross-examination in mind, the questions I will be asking will require a simple yes, no, or I don't know answer unless otherwise indicated. In your written direct testimony, page 1, paragraph 1, it stated that you're currently working on the Polynesian Voyaging Society's Malama Honua, M-A-L-A-M-A Honua, H-O-N-U-A worldwide voyage. Is that correct?
Yes.
According to www.hokulea, HOKULEA.com/Malama Honua/, it states Malama Honua means to take care of and protect everything that makes up our world, land, oceans, living beings, our cultures, and our communities. Would you agree with that statement?
Yes, in general.
Is it correct to say that a purpose of this Malama Honua worldwide voyage is to explore how to care for our oceans and island Earth?
Yes, it is.
In your participation in this worldwide voyage, have you witnessed other indigenous peoples engaged in protecting their water, their mountains, or their lands?
Yes, I have, as well as local communities.
In your written direct testimony, page 1, paragraph 2, you stated that you were granted the rank of Po and inducted into a society of non-instrument master navigators in the Sarawalese tradition. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Who were the other navigators from Hawaii who were granted the rank of Po?
Shorty Brittleman from Waimea, as well as Chad Onohi Paishan from Waimea. Bruce, Chad, it's spelled C-H-A-D-D, Paishan, P-A-I-S-H-O-N. Bruce Blankenfeld from Oahu, and Nainoa Thompson from Oahu.
Mahalo. Did you participate in any cultural traditions or practices, let me correct that. Did you participate in any cultural practices when you were inducted into the Society of Navigators and granted the rank of Po?
Yes, I did. It was a 2-day, 48-hour ceremony.
Thank you. Who granted you the rank of Po?
The individual who conducted the ceremony was Mau Piailug, but he needed to gain permission from the ranking chief of the island before he could conduct the ceremony.
Thank you. So from now on, we will refer to P.S. Mau Piailug as Mau Piailug? Is that?
Yes, that's good.
Correct. Okay. Did you learn wayfinding techniques from Mau Piailug?
Yes, I did, as well as Nainoa Thompson.
Thank you. In your written direct testimony, page 3, paragraph 1, you stated that you are a descendant of some of the best naked eye astronomers the world has ever known. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe so.
Can you briefly explain what is a naked eye astronomer?
A native naked eye astronomer.
Native eye astronomer.
I believe it's someone that uses all the natural elements around him to incorporate it into a wayfinding system.
Would Mau Piailug be considered to be a naked eye astronomer?
Yes.
Were you on any canoe voyages with him?
I was on board several canoe voyages that Mal participated in, but he was never the lead navigator.
Was he navigating on those voyages at all?
He was teaching.
Thank you. Did Maupiailug use any modern instruments to navigate when he was teaching on those voyages?
Not on the canoe itself.
Why not?
Well, because on the canoe, it's limited space. So you don't have the space to bring any kind of mechanisms that help you to navigate. And again, this is a system that's ingrained in the cultural pride of our people, which is we navigated visually, and we used our intellect to determine direction and to make landfalls.
Thank you. Did Maupiailug, to your knowledge, use any telescopes on Mauna Kea to learn naked eye navigation?
Never.
In your written direct testimony, page 1, paragraph 4, you stated that the wayfinding techniques used on board deep-sea voyaging canoes relied upon traditional methods of observing the stars, sensitizing one's body to the motion of the sea, and observing all the natural clues around you. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
At this time, hearing officer, Your Honor, I would like to introduce Exhibit B, 21H, to use as a reference for the next set of questions, please.
Thank you.
Familiar with the navigational site referred to as Ko'a Heau Holomoana,
Yes, in Mahukona.
and I will spell that. K-O Okinae Heiau Heiau Holomoana Holomoana. And as you stated, is it located overlooking the ocean in the vicinity of Mahukona?
Yes, it is.
Is photo A in Exhibit B21H the navigational site Ko'a Heau Holomoana?
Well, it's a site, and it's adjacent to the ocean, and I would assume that that's Heiau.
Thank you. Does photo B of Exhibit B21H show the Ko'a Heau Holomoana overlooking the ocean in the vicinity of Mahukona?
Yes, I recognize this location.
Would it be correct to state that traditional training of navigators occurred on the Ko'a Heau Holomoana?
I can never, I cannot confirm. I understand to oral traditions that it was used by navigators, and it's most appropriate to train navigators along a coastline location.
Thank you. According to those oral traditions, would it be correct to state that the Ko'a Heau Holomoana was used by navigators of the past?
I'm not familiar with the traditions, but logically, as a navigator of today's time, I would say for today's navigators, it is a most logical location to host navigation training.
In the oral traditions that you mentioned, or oral stories, were stories ever told to you by the Solomon Ohana of Kohala?
No, they never shared any stories.
Okay. Would it be correct to state that the Ko'aheau Holomoana could be used by navigators of the future?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And excuse me, if we can go back to the previous question, I do recall Auntie telling us a story about Pa'au. Pa'au.
Okay, thank you. Would it be correct to state that the Ko'aheau Holomoana is also used by cultural practitioners today?
Absolutely.
Would it be correct to state that the Ko'aheau Holomoana could be used by cultural practitioners of the future?
Absolutely.
At the Ko'aheau Holomoana, have you participated in traditional methods of observing the stars?
No, I have not.
Okay. At the Ko'aheau Holomoana, in ceremony, have you observed all of the natural clues around you?
Yes, I have in ceremony.
Thank you. If an 18-story structure was built directly adjacent to the Ko'aheau Holomoana, would it impact a traditional method of observing the stars by navigators who are training on that site?
Yes, if it was built adjacent to this particular location, it would obstruct visibility, absolutely.
Would it also impact the observation of all of the natural clues around a navigator training at that site?
If it was built adjacent, yes, it would.
Thank you. If the proposed 18-story, 30-meter telescope observatory was built directly adjacent to a navigational site on Mauna Kea, would the traditional methods of observing the stars from that site be impacted?
Excuse me, Honor, I don't know how to answer this question because it.
Would you like it read back by
Yes,
the
could you
court
please
reporter?
read the
Court reporter, could you please read that question back?
If the proposed 18-story, 30-meter telescope observatory was built directly adjacent to a navigational site on Mauna Kea, would the traditional methods of observing the stars from that site be impacted?
If there was a traditional navigational site and the 30-meter telescope was built adjacent to it, then it would impact the visibility.
Thank you. Is it accurate to say if the proposed 18-story, 30-meter telescope observatory was built directly adjacent to a navigational site on Mauna Kea, would the observation of all of the natural clues around this site be impacted?
Yes, it would.
If the Ko'aheau Holomoana was bulldozed, could it still be used by navigators today?
If you rebuilt it, yes.
If it were bulldozed, could it still be used by navigators today?
Yes.
My question is not if it was rebuilt, but if it was, and I'm not being argumentative, I'm just clarifying, if the Ko'aheau Holomoana was bulldozed and flattened, could it still be used by navigators today in that present state?
Yes, it could.
Could you explain that, please?
Yes, because A navigational site is only the framework by which you gain a certain orientation. But a trained navigator doesn't need objects to set direction or set his orientation. It would be best if it was a level, clear, plain field where I would have unobstructed visibility, because we hold our knowledge of the star compass within our minds and not through the framework of different stones that surround me.
Okay, so I'm going to rephrase that question. If the Ko'aheau Holomoana was bulldozed and flattened, which means the upright stones would also be flattened, could it still be used in the same way by navigators today as it was used traditionally?
Yes, it could.
Would you consider this action to be a form of desecration?
Absolutely.
If a cultural site on Mauna Kea was bulldozed in the building of the TMT Observatory, would you consider this action to be a form of desecration?
Absolutely.
At the Ko'aheau Holomoana, do you know who placed the upright pohaku on those sites? Pohaku, P-O-H-A-K-U, on that site?
I did not witness the individual who placed the stones, but I did hear who it was.
Are you talking about each of the stones or an individual stone on the heiau?
I'm just speaking about the stones in general.
At the Ko'aholomoana, do you know why these upright pohaku were placed on this site?
No, I don't.
Have you been to the proposed 30-meter telescope site on Mauna Kea?
I haven't stood on the site. I viewed it from the roadway.
Have you been to any of the cultural sites in the vicinity of the proposed TMT site?
Not in the vicinity of the proposed TMT site.
Have you been to any cultural sites on Mauna Kea?
Yes, I have.
Which cultural sites have you been to?
Keko'i, and Lake Waiau, and the summit. Lake Waiau? Lake Waiau, and I've been to the summit.
Did you notice any upright pohaku placed at any of these cultural sites?
At Keko'i, yeah.
Do you know who placed the upright pohaku on on that particular site?
No, I don't.
Do you know why these upright pohaku were placed on this site?
No, I don't.
In your written direct testimony, page 1, paragraph 3, you stated, and I quote, "My relationship with Mauna Kea is built upon the many occasions that this sacred mountain has led me back to my home and my family as a navigator aboard Hawaii's deep sea voyaging canoes." Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
As a matter of clarification, I'm asking this question: do you have any direct, established cultural practices regarding wayfinding at the proposed site of the 30-meter telescope?
No, I do not.
Do you have any other type of cultural practices at the proposed site?
No, I do not.
Thank you. In your written direct testimony, page 2, paragraph 4, you stated that your perspective of Mauna Kea is based on a tradition of oceanic exploration. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Let me confirm that your perspective of Mauna Kea is not based on cultural practices directly on Mauna Kea itself.
Is that
Can
a
you-
question?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm not.
Yes, it's a yes or no. Let me confirm, and I can reword that as well if I need to. Let me confirm that your perspective of Mauna Kea is not based on cultural practices directly on Mauna Kea itself. Yes or no?
Okay.
It's not based on cultural practices, your perspective. I'm
Yes.
rephrasing.
Yeah, so yes, my perspective is based upon certain cultural practices on Mauna Kea.
Directly on Mauna Kea.
Yes.
Thank you. Is that in the TMT site?
No.
Is that on the summit of the Mauna?
If you consider, I'm not sure where you would place the Keanake Koe. So
Okay, I am not referring to that elevation, but thank you.
I'm not sure if you're referring, if Lake Waiau is considered part of the summit area.
Okay, thank you. In your written direct testimony, page 2, paragraph 3, you stated that you have to value the importance of Ike, I-K-E, Okina I-K-E, knowledge, and its quest for a greater understanding of the universe we live in. Is that correct?
Yes, I did write that statement.
Thank you. If Ko'a Heau Holomoana, which is referred to in the exhibit, would provide Ike to Native Hawaiians, do you believe this site should be protected?
Absolutely.
If Ko'a Heau Holomoana would provide knowledge to Native Hawaiians, do you believe this site should be protected?
Yes, the Mahokona Heiau, absolutely.
If the Ko'a Heau Holomoana would provide a greater understanding of the universe to Native Hawaiians, do you believe this site should be protected?
Absolutely.
If there are cultural sites on Mauna Kea that would provide Ike to Native Hawaiians, do you believe these sites should be protected?
Yeah, absolutely.
If there are cultural sites on Mauna Kea that would provide knowledge to Native Hawaiians, do you believe these sites should be protected?
Yes, I strongly affirm that they should be protected.
If there are cultural sites on Mauna Kea that would provide a greater understanding of the universe to Native Hawaiians, do you believe these sites should be protected?
I do.
As one who has been granted the rank of Po, do you believe that Malama Honua means to take care of and protect cultural practices from the mountain to the sea?
I believe Malama Honua, and if I can qualify my answer, first of all, yes. But I'd like to qualify my answer. I don't agree with the general interpretation of Malama Honua as being caring for the world and everything around it. What I do, in my own interpretation of Malama Honua, it means caring for your place. Your place, you start by caring for your house. You start by caring for your family. Start by caring for your community. And if you can malama those things, then in the context of Malama Honua, if everybody can do these things, then they all are contributing to taking care of the planet.
Thank you.
So yes.
Thank you. As one who has been granted the rank of Po, do you believe, with your definition of Malama Honua and the definition of Malama Honua, which means to care for and protect cultural sites from the mountain to the sea?
Yes, I do believe that, but I also believe that
Thank
it also
you.
means to Malama
Thank you.
cultural traditions as well.
Thank you. Those are all the questions I have, and I want to mahalo you, Kalepa.
Okay. Oh, mahalo.
Me ke aloha.
Thank you.
O ai ke kai.